What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Bria and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Friday. Friday energy it is indeed. We've been enjoying lovely Florida for the whole week. Fran got here a couple of days ago. We had a lovely dinner last night. Now I'm at her house right now. We're ready for the family barbecue.
Yeah, the families are coming together. Meeting of the minds, breaking bread.
Yep.
No is meeting Mima.
That is happening.
So really anything could happen. It's endless possibilities tonight.
I'm hoping Nono just keeps it cool.
He will. I feel like he's going to be a little shy.
He might bring flowers. He's a big, not even just for Mima, like
just
in
for
general,
the house
like,
as a gift.
He's a bring flowers.
That's a great treat. That's a great thing to do.
Person. Like we were going to
a host gift.
Yeah. We were going to my family's house on Christmas Eve in Florida last year, but it was just me and my Nono. And we stopped somewhere and we obviously brought other things for Christmas Eve. And he was like, no, I have to stop here and get them flowers. And I was like, okay. I was like, what a gentleman. That's so sweet of you.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe he'll bring flowers. The family's excited and Nana loves to dance. So there's music playing. Maybe we'll see some moves. Yeah. He might be shy though. I think he's going to be shy.
That's what I said. I feel like he might be a little shy.
I think he's going to be shy.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a big, I think, a mingling. Our parents met at the Chicks in the Office live show in New York. Now we're coming over. We're both here. We're visiting. Both of our parents now are like winter time fully in Florida. So if we want to see them, we have to come down here. My grandparents are down here. So it's nice to work and get some time with everybody as well.
Yeah, I love it because it's an excuse to come to Florida.
Yeah.
Like it's like, well, my parents want to see me. I haven't seen my parents.
What do you want from me? My parents miss me.
Right. Like we have to go see our parents who happen to live 30 minutes away from each other. Yep. And we have to just go to Florida together. Like that's just the way it goes.
That is just the way it goes.
The weather has been glorious and I'm feeling happy about it. That's really all I have to say.
I know it is. Look, we're going into a regular show. We got Josh Gad. We got a great interview. It's weird. We're like in that territory again where there's a lot going on in the world. And here we are talking about pop culture. Right. We're going to continue to talk about pop culture. That is what you're going to get from us. And, I think it's like, I don't know if you saw the tweet, but like someone tweeted it at Big Cat being like, why the fuck aren't you talking about Ukraine? And he's like, what do you want from me?
Nobody wants Fran and I to be talking about Ukraine. No. I'm telling you, you do not want that to be your source because also I think it's important to get things to distract you. Yes, it's important to know what's going on in the world. Of course, you should stay updated. But realistically, there's not a lot people can do right now besides try to find a different source of entertainment and just like not drive yourself crazy with what's going on. So that's what we really are here for.
Yeah, there's of course, you always see a lot of good stuff being shared on social media. You see a lot of bad stuff being shared on social media. It's back and forth. It's just like, we're in uncharted territory. Don't really know. This is not something we've experienced in our lifetime. So yeah, you just kind of have to stay informed, read what you can, be cautious of what you're reading and where it's coming from. And, if you are looking to get more involved, I know there's like a lot of Ukrainian American groups that have come together to try and help as well. So it's just for us. Here we go. Another show, pop culture.
Josh Gad, awesome.
We continue to do our job, and that is, to talk about the Weeknd making out with Simi Khadra over the weekend.
Yes, and we're excited to do so. So let's get into today's show. We are going to be talking about the Weeknd and Simi Khadra, Simi Hayes. They're twins, and you want to always say Simi Hayes. Yeah. Hayes is separate. It's her sister. Different people. They're twins, two different people, but you always just want to say Simi Hayes because they're Instagram. Of course, we have another Pete Davidson, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian update. Yes, we are as sick of talking about them as you guys are hearing about it, but of course, we have to keep you updated. Britney Spears signed a major book deal, so we'll be hearing from her as well as Jamie Lynn Spears. And
the Queen. Hollywood Unlocked tried to tell us that the Queen is dead, and they're the only ones that are reporting the story. And it's just been quite interesting to watch back and forth as they are adamant that they will not retract the story.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just giggle about that, but it's insane. It's literally insane. The queen has died. It was trending everywhere. It would be major news if the queen died. That's just, I don't think that's what's happening. The queen got COVID. But anyways, we also have a great interview with Josh Gad. It was very funny. And we also talked about Harry Potter with him, which I'm sure everyone will appreciate because of Chicks in Hogwarts right now. Go watch that on YouTube. So let's get into it, starting off with The Weeknd.
Sometimes fertility can be a sensitive subject. We want to get away from that. Openly talk about it. Talk about family planning when you're ready for these big changes in your life and moments in your life. It's all happening at different ages now. You can just really do what is right for you. So modern fertility is great because it helps you plan those moments in your life. If you're ready to get pregnant, if you're not ready to get pregnant, that's why modern fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. You mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get your personalized results within 10 days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, your ovarian reserve, which is how many eggs you have compared to other women your age, and other important fertility factors. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also talk one-on-one with a fertility nurse to review your results and options for the next step. Now, Rhea and I are not in a place right now where we're looking to have children. We're not. Could be soon, but it's not right now.
Within the next 5 years.
Yeah, but information, knowledge is power. So just to know what's going on within your body feels so important. It's like you go get checkups for so many different things in your body. Like this makes sense on why you would want the information and check on what's going on. So traditional testing with your doctor can cost over $1,000, but modern fertility can give you the same info at $159. If you go to modernfertility.com/chicks, you can get $20 off your test. Also, if you have an HSA or FSA, you can put those dollars towards modern fertility. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/chicks. That means your test will cost $139 instead of the hundreds or thousands it could cost at a doctor's office. So get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/chicks. That's modernfertility.com/chicks.
It looks like The Weeknd has a new girl in his life that also may be an old girl. It's Simi Khadra, Phi Khadra's sister. Simi and Hayes are twins, DJs, they're models. Phi is Kendall's best friend. Simi and Hayes were both really good friends with Bella Hadid. That friendship seemed to have ended. Selena Gomez is posting pictures with Simi and Hayes saying since 2013, but Simi was seen kissing The Weeknd. So I think this is just Hollywood. I think it doesn't matter what happens in Hollywood. People just swap and they're like, all right.
Yeah, it was very interesting timing on that Selena Gomez Instagram post. She's not exactly super active on Instagram. So that's pretty telling. Now, I really don't know much about Simi or Hayes, to be honest. I don't really know. I don't know which one's which. I look at their Instagram, they post. This is the thing. That
Simi has the bangs and long hair.
Okay, great. But this is the thing. How is someone who does not know who they are? It's not easy to figure out because they do have the joint Instagram. Yeah. And sometimes they just post a photo of one of them. So it's like, which one is this?
Yeah, it is very confusing if you would have to Google them you got to figure out.
And so much of their Google pictures are them still together. So
yeah, they really are a duo, but it is weird timing with Selena Gomez posting that and this being posted everywhere because people are like, oh, wasn't she friends with Bella Hadid? Wasn't she friends with The Weeknd? I mean, wasn't she friends with Selena Gomez? How's she with The Weeknd? Clearly, Selena Gomez doesn't care.
Abel's taken down a whole friend group.
I think Abel gets around. I think The Weeknd has put in some time with some ladies, and it seems like if they're okay with it, then we're okay with it, right? But I think Bella Hadid and her haven't been friends for a while, and I did see on Dumois. This is a story I've been following for a little while. On Dumois,
because they've been posting about them for a while, and we haven't had any actual hardcore evidence besides random sightings until this video of them kissing.
And they posted that Bella and her stopped being friends a while ago, not guy related. Apparently had nothing to do with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that could
this
happen.
Doesn't help.
Right. No. I'm sure it doesn't help.
Shocked if there's a reconciliation.
Right. Not everything's guy related. I'm sure it was some other shit, but it's also weird because Fi is still friends with everyone. So it's like, his sisters aren't friends. Who knows? Like we said, Hollywood's a weird place and the rules are different there.
Yeah, it totally is. And I think this was obviously confirmation that something is going on when this video, TMZ got a hold of this video of them clearly kissing. It's the two of them. So there is something going on. How serious it is, I don't know. I mean, we thought Angelina Jolie was like his muse, but I guess you can be a muse without really, like, you can just be a muse.
I mean,
without
Julia Fox.
No, she was Josh Safdie's muse in Uncut Gems. So yeah, anybody could be a muse.
That one just fit.
I know. It's like Angelina Jolie being like, well, I was The Weeknd's muse for his new album that I can't remember the name of right now.
I mean, yeah, you could be somebody's muse and not date them. I don't think Angelina Jolie and The Weeknd were ever dating. Like, I think maybe they had some weird, like,
she was just his muse.
She was his muse, and they have some sort of creative friendship or relationship. Maybe they're both creative people. All I know is I'm sure The Weeknd and Simi ain't walking down the aisle anytime soon.
No. He always seems so serious with The Weeknd. And then, I mean, with Belle Hadid, The Weeknd and Belle Hadid. And then it felt like the Selena relationship was like a in-between relationship for both parties.
Right. It kind of felt like they were dating.
There's
they may have liked each other,
rebound relationship. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. So maybe this is a little bit more serious. How old are these girls?
I couldn't even make a guess because all of their ages confused me. Like, I think Bella Hadid might be younger than me. And I would guess that she's 10 years older than me.
Yeah. She, let's see. How old are these people? They're not twins?
What?
Oh,
damn.
Oh, no, they are twins. It said they had different birthdays. Oh, man. This is sometimes when this is. Oh, no, I think. Okay, they are twins. 1993. They're 28.
And when was Bella Hadid born? Well, how old is she?
March 31st. They're about to be 29. How old is Bella? Bella Hadid is 20.
I need to know if she's older or younger than I am.
22.
22?
No, 25.
Oh, she's 25. Oh my God. If Bella Hadid was 22,
I know.
I would have a heart attack.
For some reason, like the Bella Hadid drama on like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills feels like it was so long ago, but then it also makes me like, I use that as a benchmark. I'm like, well, when was that? Because she was 16. And like, what year is it now?
So weird to think about them being on the Real Housewives. Like Bella Hadid having a DUI at 17, and like Yolanda telling them that they can only eat like a handful of almonds.
Gigi's a mom.
Gigi is a full-grown mother at this point.
Yeah.
In time.
So, they're all like perpetually 22 in my mind, even though they're not. Like Kendall, Kendall, Bella, Haley, like they're just not. They're
right, because they that's when they capped off.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, when they hit 22, they peaked and they stay peaking.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have just done nothing but go up, 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 up. But it does, like I said, feels like a very casual thing. But those, that family, pretty well connected.
Yeah, the Khadras. I'd love to know more about them.
Yeah, maybe we will. I feel like they would be prime candidates for some type of like reality TV. Or even just like Friends of Kendall on Kardashians.
Or they don't even need to be because they're so well connected. They don't even want to get into the reality game.
That's true. They can just be friends with every celebrity, but not have the world know like anything about them.
Yeah, that seems like the ideal life.
That feels way better than a reality show for sure.
Obviously, there were a lot of great things about our fall tour, traveling to all the different cities, seeing your faces. But one of my favorite things about the tour was the Pink Whitney shots at the beginning and the end of the show. It got the party started at the beginning. It ended the show perfectly.
I missed it.
I missed it too. It gave us a great buzz. We felt great on the Pink Whitney shots. Also, they just taste good, right? It's like pink lemonade, refreshing. It just gets the job done. And really what you should be ordering at the bar if you want a quick shot, in my opinion, or a nice
Those Friday Energy cocktails we had were so good.
So good. Everyone loved them when we had them there. If you were fortunate enough to try them, I bet you agree. And if you didn't get to try it, then I'm sorry, you missed out. But you can order Pink Whitney at your local bar today. You can also buy Pink Whitney in stores. So make sure if you haven't tried Pink Whitney, try it already. And if you drank Pink Whitney already, keep drinking it because we love it at Barstool and you guys will love it too. And it's pink. And I love pink.
Good point.
Quick little Pete Davidson, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian update. Because like I said, we are just as tired of talking about this as you guys are hearing about it. But obviously there's more updates every single day. So we can't not give them. Pete decided to delete his Instagram, deactivate. He was receiving a flood of Kanye comments. Obviously that wasn't going to be good for Pete. Kanye then posted about it on Instagram, bragging that he scared Pete off of Instagram. Kim Kardashian has filed once again, wanting to be single, saying that
she's trying to speed up this divorce process.
Saying that the Instagram posts have caused emotional distress. And Kanye West had his listening party for Donda 2, where rumors are that Kim Kardashian may have been there.
I know. I don't think she was.
Not. I do not feel like she was. He did include her Saturday Night Live monologue. We knew that she was going to be incorporated in some way. He's also not releasing Donda 2 on streaming services. He's releasing it on STEM Player. So this is all that's just happened in like 2 days.
Yeah, it really is. So yeah, one, I do not think Kim was there. I think Kim's lookalike that Kanye's always seen with was there. So I think there might have been some confusion. Some people mistakenly thinking she was there. Also, that was on what Monday or Tuesday night. What night was that? The Donda show. Tuesday night. Kim was decked out, ready to go moments like Wednesday morning in Milan. Like she's in Milan right now. So I don't really know, and like timing wise, if those things matched up.
They're having all these issues. I doubt she would show up to his listening party.
I know.
It doesn't seem like she wants to be near him. It seems like a restraining order would be happening.
If anything, it would be because like maybe North wanted to be there or something. But yeah, it's there's a lot going on. I'm over this, like the blatant. Bullying sounds like a silly word to use in this situation, but the Pete Davidson stuff is wild. Like it is just the prime example of like adult celebrity cyberbullying. Like Kanye has just posted nonstop about him, calling him names, saying all these things about him. Pete tries to join Instagram, harmless post, a video of him. I think it's from a project that he's working on. It was a D's nuts joke, like that he like laughed at. Like you could hear him laugh in the background. Like he was like, and he made the caption like, "This is the kind of content you're going to be getting from me." Obviously, trying to like make light of being back on Instagram, and I think also probably people will be like, "Oh, like is he going to post with Kim?" Like whatever. He's like, "Nah, you're gonna get D's nuts jokes from me." And he got flooded with Skeet comments and Kanye comments and like so crazy over the top that he deactivated the account again. And then Kanye comes in, he's like, "Oh, I got him off Instagram." Like, why are you bragging about that? You look like a total jackass.
Yeah, it's all, I would say the same thing every single time. It's just all obviously very insane. And the one thing I'll say about Kanye, to not be so repetitive in talking about the Pete stuff on Instagram, because it's just never going to end. His documentary, crazy that when you watch Through the Wire and Slow Jams Be Made. I'll just say that. Like, it is really insane.
Did you watch episode 2?
Yeah. It's
I watched it last night. It's crazy.
Insane. He had his jaw wired shut. He made this amazing song. It's one of his best songs ever. Like, I'll give him that.
But like you can see the moment where he told the guy who was making this whole documentary basically like, "Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to get someone better to do like the Jesus Walks video." Basically like, "I'm done with you guys now that I'm famous." Like you just saw it like switch in his head.
Right. How about the dentist being like, "You're not going to cry for your fans." Like the dentist was like, what am I doing? What's going on? But also now I'm so into whatever's happening right now.
I know. I mean, the documentary is amazing. Just like objectively, like it's crazy. Like the whole scene with Pharrell Williams where he's just like telling him like applies so much to him today, where Pharrell was like, don't like change. Don't like lose this hunger. Don't like lose sight of like who you are.
That there shouldn't be a day that you don't doubt yourself to only come forward, which probably has just made Kanye
tough advice, bad advice to give to a narcissist.
Well, I think that he became one, but
I think he always has been.
I feel like he was always.
I think he always was.
Also, genius producer and rapper. Just documentary. I mean, that just goes without saying. But also watching the documentary.
I mean,
it's crazy. They have
watching him like just rap to Jay-Z, being like, "I should be on your album."
Yeah, and then Pharrell Williams being like, "I had no idea." Like you were this good, and also like you're my favorite artist, and then Kanye just becoming bigger than everyone. Like Pharrell was probably like, "Shit, I didn't mean to hype you up that much."
Also, all the scenes with his mom are very heartwarming. Like him and his mom.
It's interesting that they just had all that footage for so long and never put it out.
Well, I guess they're
no, I know it's now, but I mean, that was what?
That's what I'm saying. It's 20 years. Like it's 20 years ago.
20 years ago?
20 years.
Like 20 years worth of,
Yeah, that's crazy.
They have him getting his jaw surgery.
Yeah, they had
talked about his whole life. It's just that dentist was probably hyped. Like, wow, finally.
That would imagine when I went to the dentist these past month or so, I was just like had a film crew with me.
Oh my God. You were just vlogging it.
I mean, it would have been like if you guys showed up.
Yeah. I don't think I'll be watching.
Oh, come on, Fran.
I just don't.
It's
I don't
great.
I don't really have an interest.
You don't have an interest in Kanye? It's just a good.
Like musically, I have an interest because
he's one of the most famous. Like, who would you have an interest in? Like, he's one of the biggest names.
Musically, I don't care. That's you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, I guess you're not really a fan.
Like, I'm not really a fan of his biggest songs I listen to and I like, but like I've never been like a fan. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess like if Nick Jonas had a documentary come out, I wouldn't really care to watch it. No offense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Exactly. But I feel bad for Kim because it does seem like she's really trying to push this divorce along and he is not cooperating at all. I think he also tried to file something that would make it harder for, I'm probably butchering this, but I think he filed something to try and make it harder for her to remarry and like to get marital benefits if she remarries. And the quote I saw like from her lawyer was like that's like an unprecedented ask, like that it does not happen. So I feel like he's trying to just make everything about this more difficult.
Right. Just make it impossible for her to be able to move on with her life.
Exactly.
I talked a lot about Norman on a few episodes ago. You know, the dog's going through a lot. Okay. Weight gain. My parents leaving him behind to go to Florida, his favorite people besides myself. Tough life this dog lives. But there's nothing worse than having a pet, a dog, whatever it is, something happens and you have no idea what to do. So maybe it's happening in the middle of the night. You can't get to the vet on time, or you call the vet in the morning. They don't have an appointment for you till later in the day or later in the week. You never know what can happen, but that's why Fuzzy is here to help you out. It's a telehealth service for pet parents that offers 24/7 access to personalized pet care from vet professionals. So whether you have a question about something health related, that something's going on, or if it's the diet, any kind of question you have about your pet, Fuzzy is here to help you. Right now, Fuzzy is offering our listeners a free 7-day trial membership. Go to yourfuzzy.com/CITO today to sign up. That's a free 7-day trial at yourfuzzy. That's yourfuzz.com/CITO. And for a limited time, Fuzzy is offering a special discount of $20 off any of your pet product needs, whether that's meds, supplements, food, and more with promo code CITO. So once again, try yourfuzzy.com/CITO and make sure your pets are getting the best care that they can get.
Britney Spears has allegedly signed a approximately $15 million book deal. I gotta say, I was of course, yeah, 15 million is a lot of money. But I feel like she's maybe leaving some money on the table.
Britney Spears' tell-all book will be the most sold tell-all book of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe the most sold book of all time.
Like, it's possible. So possible.
Like, I don't even know if that's the correct use of the terms I'm using right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody wants to know what happened to Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Like, all these things for so long. We don't know the truth about anything. We got Jamie's book that apparently had a bunch of fibs in it. We don't know what's truthful there. Britney Spears' book is what we need in our lives. And I'm afraid it's almost going to take too long to come out. Like, I need this book now. I need this book next week. I need it within the next year. Okay. 2 years from now, will I still care? Yes. But chop, Britney, we got to get it out now.
I know. And if her book is anything like her Instagram caption, she's going to need quite an editor. It's going to need some help because she will definitely be able to.
It's her.
Yes, exactly. Like, she'll definitely be able to tell the stories, but just to get it into cohesive sentences.
Right.
It's probably going to need a team of editors. Now, I guess, like, book wise, I'm like, why choose book over massive tell-all interview or something like that, where maybe with TV she could get more money? But I guess I understand from the standpoint of, like, book, she can put everything in that. You know, a tell-all interview, things get left out or things get cut out, or you can't touch on every single aspect of her life. A book, she can start from the beginning and end where this is all happening now. And just this, you know, I guess this was Wednesday, right? Thursday. Yeah, it was Wednesday. Britney posted another post, deleted, I believe now, but addressing Jamie Lynn, where she wrote, "I'm sorry I called you scum, but why did you lie about me when I went home? It's like you're going out of your way to lie about me and make me look bad. And if I wasn't your sister, I would believe everything you're saying in your interviews. You're actually believable. It's scary." That's a good point. I feel like after we listened to everything, we were like, huh.
Right. And her saying it's scary. It's like, it is scary sometimes when somebody lies and
everyone believes them.
Yeah.
Yep. You and Dad pushed me in the corner about my broken foot. I love her use of emojis. It's like broken foot emoji.
What's with the heart next to bad? That's what got me going.
It's a heartbroken heart.
Yes.
Okay. Split heart.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought it looked like a full heart. I was like, wait, that's bad.
No. She's got broken foot with the foot emoji. And you guys were poking at it. I felt ganged up on, so I said, shut the fuck up. I never stick up for myself, so you were shocked. All you said was, Dad was poking at your foot. I never touched you. And then you went into the closet and screamed like a drama queen for like an hour. And I was confused. Aren't I supposed to be the one screaming? I never screamed at you in front of anyone. What you don't know is that when you were screaming and yelling in Mom's closet, one of the kids came out and said to me, you need to go say you're sorry to Mama. For what? I didn't do anything. Let's not even start about how you would never let me hold the baby. What baby? Her baby? Jamie Lynn's baby? Mama's mouth dropped because you would never say anything. You would just yank her out of my arms. You acted like you own that household, and I'm sorry you were too much. I know Dad has taken a backseat because he doesn't do the conservatorship anymore, so I guess you're feeling that your little sassy ass can boss them around. But I'm here as your older sister to keep it real with you and put you in your place. You have the right to tell your story, but honestly, the timing, ... right when people are just counting down the seconds until I do something wrong, you come out and literally say hurtful things about me lying. That's being so unsupportive, and it's kind of insane. I'm honestly wondering if this is all a joke and you're testing me, because this is so far from you. It's not even funny. Once again, it's kind of all the things that we were thinking Britney was thinking, right? Like the timing of it. Why are you doing this to me now when the spotlight is so much on me? Like you can obviously talk about your story and tell your story, but the timing is where things are getting a little questionable.
And I think that the part that stood out to me the most was obviously what we said before is like, Jamie, she had us when we were talking about, it's like, oh,
I know.
Do we believe some stuff Jamie's saying? But then Britney posts something and you're like, well, I only believe what Britney's saying. And it's so hard to decipher what the truth is.
Yeah.
I want to believe Britney, though. I feel like, why would she be getting this worked up, this angry? She's been lied to. Things have been stolen from her. Her whole life has been stolen from her.
Yeah.
What is she to gain by just like blaming her? Like,
yeah, I know. It just does the nonstop, like not nonstop, because I guess it has been kind of a little while since she's directly written to Jamie Lynn on Instagram, but it does sometimes feel like we got to get past the Instagram captions about Jamie Lynn. Like, I know this is all very fresh and she's very emotional, but it's like beating a dead horse. I feel like at this point where we know like Jamie Lynn fucked up, and now I just want Britney to focus on living her best life. And if she wants to write a book and tell her story, start writing. Let's hear it. Let's do it. Like, focus on positive things.
Take it to the book.
Yeah. Okay, pretty wild story I've been following this week. The Hollywood Unlocked. We've been talking a lot about Hollywood Unlocked because Kanye has been doing interviews with Jason Lee, who is, who runs Hollywood Unlocked.
Kanye works for Hollywood Unlocked.
Yeah, pretty much. And so there also the potential, like the Corey Gamble cheating video thing. I don't know if you saw that, was also on Hollywood Unlocked. So
Hollywood Unlocked's really making their way up there.
Yeah. So this week we get a royal announcement that the Queen has COVID, that she's recovering, mild symptoms, cold-like symptoms. And after that, Hollywood Unlocked reports that the Queen is dead. Nobody else reports it. Nobody else is talking about it. But they're like, nope, we have sources. They say she's dead. And all week long, they have just doubled down on this being true. Now, I went to go back. I think the original post on Instagram, I think that the blog itself is up, but the post on Instagram was taken down by Instagram, like for misinformation. So that's no longer there. But Jason Lee himself keeps posting about the Queen being dead.
Do we secretly believe him?
No, I don't.
You don't at all? There's not even a little bit of you that's like, maybe she is dead and they just haven't announced it?
Not at all.
Because the Queen dying would rock the world.
The Queen dying would,
so I could understand
be insane.
Them wanting to keep that a little hush-hush for a little bit.
Absolutely. But I also think it's very possible that you can, like, you hear, oh, the Queen has COVID. She's very old. And maybe you're like, we're going to be the first ones to say she died. Because God forbid if something were to happen.
Isn't this how her husband died too? I feel like when her husband died, it was like weeks of like, I think he's dead. And people weren't sure. And then he finally was. They're like, yeah, he actually is dead. So maybe it's just like the same thing. They're like, I feel like maybe they're waiting because like so much is going on in the world right now. They're like, would it even be that big news?
What happens?
There is a lot going on in the world, but it would be pretty crazy for them to be straight up lying, because Buckingham Palace has put out a statement that this week, after the Hollywood Unlocked post did come out, that the Queen has canceled some meetings because she has been under the weather, but that she did have. I know. Look, I'm not saying it's not like sus, but it's also not crazy to think that the Queen gets COVID and she has to cancel some meetings.
Right. The Queen should cancel some meetings if she has COVID.
Exactly. And apparently she did still have her weekly talk with the Prime Minister. It was via phone. The palace did put out that statement saying, like on Wednesday or Thursday, I think it was Wednesday, that the Queen did have a phone conversation with Boris Johnson. So it's like they are putting out that she is still doing things. It is fun. Like it's interesting because, of course, like I can't imagine the Buckingham Palace press room being like, guys, Hollywood Unlocked put out a story that the Queen's dead. Right away, we have to put out a statement. Like they like, for them, this is probably like poo. Like there's been so many royal family conspiracies through the years that they don't address. But
imagine Kanye
Jason Lee is like, no, the Queen, I'm sticking to this.
Kanye gets on there doing like 1 minute style videos talking about how the Queen's dead.
Yeah.
On Hollywood Unlocked.
I mean, Jason Lee on Twitter on Tuesday wrote, "We don't post lies and I always stand by my sources. waiting for an official statement from the palace.
Like this guy's hell-bent.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
when
you died.
Exactly. And when you word it like that, you can spin it where if knock on wood, if something were to happen, he could be like, I told you guys.
Yeah. Also, this guy, he doesn't care about the queen being dead at all. He just wants like, to be the first. I want to be the first to let everyone know that the queen died.
Yeah.
Like the queen dying is one of
yeah. Letting people know that someone big died though is kind of is like thrilling.
It's kind of a rush.
I will never forget when David Bowie died. I went upstairs and woke my parents up just to tell them.
Right.
And they were like shocked, just like seeing the shock in someone's face.
I know exactly what you mean. That's like when Michael Jackson died, I was at my friend's house and my dad called my friend's house to tell us all that Michael Jackson died.
Yeah.
It's like, so the queen dying would be like, whoa, the queen, like
the
he's
queen,
like, oh,
though, I feel like the queen almost isn't as, it's like she's so old. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, that's true. But also it's the queen. She's been around for so long.
I know, it's crazy. Will the monarchy continue?
It's just crazy that if something were to happen, oh boy, like if something were to happen, then he could just be like, yeah, I was right all along. And people will give him credit for that, which is wild. But no, he's been very adamant about it. He's been on Twitter. On Thursday, he tweeted, please don't take my calculated silence as somewhat cowering away from the work I've done this week. I'll be active today on Twitter. And if you know me, you know I've always come with the receipts. Except he hasn't come with the receipts because everyone's like, well, what are your sources? And he undisclosed.
I guess you can't say
undisclosed.
You can't say who your sources are. That defeats the purpose of sources.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that was pretty wild to come across like all these people being like, the queen, she's dead. And it's like, what? You trace it back to just Hollywood Unlocked saying we have sources saying that she's dead.
Right. Hollywood Unlocked. This could be big for them.
Right. They're going to be taking over the Buckingham Palace news reports soon. We have an awesome interview with Josh Gad. He was fantastic. Love chatting with him. But before we jump into that, Rhea and I we've a little escape this week, seeing our parents. And now when the work is done for the day, we can crack open a nice Coors Light, the official beer of Chicks in the Office. We love it. Like, just those moments to unwind, reset, and enjoy a nice ice cold Coors Light. So that is why we choose the only beer that's literally made to chill. The mounds on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. So when our Thursday night's coming to an end and our parents are all sitting together, just open the fridge and pass around a bunch of Coors Light. Coors Light for everyone. So that's when Mike's
going to be excited about that.
Yeah, Coors Light for everyone. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light in the new look delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly. This is coming from Coors Brewing Company in Golden, Colorado.
All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by Josh Gad. He's got a few things.
A ton.
You got a lot going on, honestly. Right before we started, we were like, he's got things all over the map, all different streaming services. You're going to have to tell us which one's your favorite, even though it's probably against the contract. But welcome to the show. And he's wearing pretty cool glasses right now.
Again, thank you so much for the glasses compliment. It's been a tough sell for my wife, so I'm glad that I've gotten this feedback. I now know that I can combat her ill will towards these glasses by saying these two chicks in the office enjoyed them. So
yes.
There you go.
There you go. It'll definitely change things for sure.
it's bound to sell her.
Bound to completely change her mind. You know what I think it is? It's the sunglasses that Joe Burrow was wearing a few weeks ago, the orange ones.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, I think.
I love those sunglasses.
I
love Joe Burrow.
We also love Joe Burrow. That's why any chance I can just throw him in there you go.
We also love Joe Burrow.
So talented. I regret that he's not a Miami Dolphin, but I do love him.
I did as I was doing my research, I did see all the
it's like, and Josh is a fan of all Miami sports teams. It's like, that's tough.
I am. It's tough and it's not. I've got the Heat. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're good.
You ever go to like Marlins games?
I used to all the time.
Yeah.
I'll actually tell you a really funny story. So when I was, I want to say like 21, 22, I went to a Marlins game with some of my buddies. I grew up in South Florida, hence my affinity for Florida sports. And we went to a Marlins game and we had tickets in the nosebleeds because we couldn't afford anything else. And this older gentleman comes up to us and he's like, "What the hell are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We're just going to our seats." He's like, "Why are you sitting up here? There's 5,000 people in the stadium right now." Like, we can't afford anything else. So he brings us down to this insane box and it's like loaded with free gourmet food. And we look at him like, "What's happening? Are we unpunked?" And he says, "I am John Henry. I'm the owner of the Marlins." And it was just the coolest thing ever. Like, we were just a bunch of kids with no money. And this guy who owned the team totally set us up. So it's there's been ups and downs in my relationship with South Florida sports, but that was definitely an up.
That's amazing. He had to have a lot of trust in you guys to trust just a bunch of random kids, bringing them into a box.
I was going to say that also says a lot when the owner is like, "Come on, kids."
He's like, these kids look real safe.
Come on, move on down. We got to make it look like this place is packed.
Yeah. Hence, he doesn't own the Marlins anymore. I think that was part of it.
Oh, man. Well, Josh, you have a ton going on right now. There's a lot of cool new projects you have out. Wolf Like Me is one of them. This is on Peacock. I have watched the trailer a multitude of times. I'm excited to jump into it.
I've never heard you use that word.
Multitude?
Yeah.
Sounding fancy.
Times or multitude?
A multitude of times now. And it's like I can't get a grasp on like comedy, drama, thriller. Am I supposed to be scared? It feels like it is coming at us with tons of different genres.
All the above. What's so cool about the writer and director of this, Abe Forsyth, who I did a project with a few years ago, also in Australia, called Little Monsters. That was me and Lupita Nyong'o. And what's so brilliant about Abe is he's not afraid to mix genre and tones. So he sort of it's not any one thing. The closest person I can think of to like that is Taika, who, all of his stuff, whether it's JoJo or whether it's Thor Ragnarok, all of it is just like an insane mishmash of different tones, different genres. And I kind of love that. And that's part of what drew Isla and I to this, because it makes for a very unique viewing experience. It's unlike anything else you've ever seen. It's got elements of horror. It's got elements of domestic drama. It's got elements of rom-com. And it sort of just somehow makes it all work.
What was it like working with Isla? We love her. I think she's fantastic in everything she does, and also amazing. It's so shocking every time hearing her actual voice compared to everything she's ever been in.
Well, I think that speaks to what a brilliant performer she is, period. Like, she's so transformative that people don't even know she's an Aussie.
Yeah.
Because she is able to, disappear in each of these characters, whether they're insane, like her Wedding Crashers character, or whether they're so down to earth, but for a very major secret in Wolf Like Me. She's just able to ground these characters who are elevated and do so in such a charismatic way. And I had been dying to work with her forever. I've known Sacha Baron Cohen, her husband, for a while, and we're friends. But Isla and I hadn't really known each other, but we're both equally wanting to work with one another. And during the pandemic, we were circling a different project. There was a rom-com that came our way that was a small little film that we both fell in love with. And then this this entered our inboxes, and we both fell in love with it, and we're like, yes, let's do it.
So were people coming to the both of you together because you guys wanted to work together, or it just so happened that you guys both received the film and this show?
It was random. I mean, completely random. It was one of those things where Isla signed on to do Wolf Like Me. Frankly, I wasn't too keen when I got a call about it. Before I even read anything, I really wasn't keen on leaving my family in the midst of a pandemic to go to the other side of the globe, quarantine for 2 weeks, and then go shoot something, and essentially not be able to see my family again for 3 months. And so I came into the process very hesitant. And when I read the first 2 scripts, I was immediately hooked in a way that I think became problematic, because I went up to my wife and was like, I think I gotta go do this. So it was one of those things where it just was completely random. It just so happened that she was attached to it. I fell in love with it, and we did it.
And how was the filming process for you? Because like you just said, you had to leave your family. You were in Australia. How long were you there? And were things, because I know it feels like a lot of projects in the last year that are now coming out were filmed like New Zealand, Australia, a lot of these countries that opened up a little bit sooner than some other places.
It was wild. I mean, I at that point, I still had PTSD from lockdown and from like being in the midst of an unprecedented health crisis.
Yep.
And so like even getting on an airplane to travel abroad, like now it's sort of, we've all eased back into it, but at the time it was really scary. And then to basically be escorted to my hotel by the police and put in a hotel room where they take the key away after they lock you in your room, which is so bizarre and so
like,
insane.
I didn't sign up for this.
And then they like,
thought I was shooting something cool here.
They literally knock on your door, wait 30 seconds, and like you have to take the food and then close your door. Like you just feel like leopards. Like you feel like everyone is terrified of coming into contact with you. And then on the flip side of it, you get out and nobody's wearing a mask. Everything is just wide open. And again, this was at the time when we were in the midst of dealing with the height of the pandemic. So that was surreal. But then shooting in Australia is always such a thrill ride. And in this case, I had never really done the Outback. And we did a week in Broken Hill, which is where like the original Mad Max film shot. And that was just such a cool and unique experience, and being able to do it alongside of Isla, who calls Australia her home, was a great way to have a personal relationship with someone who basically could show you everything and do so in a way that felt like she was a tour guide.
Yeah.
So it was a thrill. It was a blast.
And what's that time difference like? Where are you in California?
I'm in California. It was insane. I mean, I'm used to sort of dealing with crazy time zone differences because for whatever reason, I keep having to shoot in London. So like, it's always been tough, but this was just like, you're talking about like, I'm calling you from a different day.
Yeah.
Like you're like, let me tell you, tomorrow's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like it's
the future.
It's just like, yeah, I'm basically calling from the set of Back to the Future. Like it's just a weird experience. And it was tough because I always love to speak to my kids before they go to school and when they go to sleep, and that sort of became impossible. So we just sort of had to make it work.
Yeah, that is tough, and we have trouble even when we just go 3 hours to California. Yeah. So we're in New York.
I'm like sleeping for days when I get back.
We're like, we're so jet lagged. Like we
were there for 2 days.
Yeah, we're late to work. We can't get out. Yeah, it's just the time difference is crazy.
It's weird. It's weird, and in the case of Australia, it's just like it's next level weird.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was tough to adapt.
So Central Park now, you're going to be coming back. It's like kind of midway through the second season, I guess technically, right? You're back March 4th. You've done 8 episodes. Now you're coming back for more. And this is now like total opposite, right? We're going animated. It's a different feel. It's a animated musical comedy.
Yeah, it's complete other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, it's so exciting because, well, you guys are going to get to experience the second part of season 2. We're finishing up season 3, and so it's been amazing to be a part of this journey and mark the evolution of this series, because it continues to grow and continues to, I think, become a very, very special animated series that's unlike anything else, I think, on TV. And our cast is just so bonkers. You know, you have Catherine Hahn, who of course had a breakout year playing.
She's amazing.
Truly obsessed with everything she does.
She's so good.
And she's so good. She's such a good singer. Yeah. And she's brilliant on the show, singing all these songs. Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton, who's, you know, going to be in Knives Out 2 now. You have Daveed Diggs, the star of Snowpiercer. You have Emmy Raver Lampman, who's on Umbrella Academy. Stanley Tucci, Titus Burgess. It's such an embarrassment of riches, and just the talent across the board is so exciting. And the show is next level. I'm really excited for people to see what we've been working on. It's spectacular.
Now, you've done a ton of animated work, obviously, with Frozen being just one of the biggest animated films of all time. Yeah. Do you have a preference on whether you do animated work or just like real life?
So different, but
yeah.
You know, I love the process of animation because you get multiple cracks at it. You know, you when you're shooting live action, you're sort of pot committed to whatever it is, right? You can do reshoots, but you'll never be able to structurally blow up an entire thing. In animation, that opportunity exists. So there's a creative satisfaction on the sort of producerial side of it that I really enjoy. My bread and butter is live action, so I love, you know, I come from theater. Obviously I'll always prefer as a performer to do that. But I also love the, you know, when I'm in a booth and I'm playing Olaf, it's like being a kid again in a sandbox, you know, playing with my G.I. Joes and creating a world that is like, you know, the sky is a limit. And I just get to do insane things. And like when I did Frozen 2, Samantha was literally just an insane improv I did in the booth. And then to see a bunch of animators taking this, you know, batshit crazy thing that I did and committing to it with like hundreds of hours of animation. There's something so satisfactory about that. It's just like you get tickled by it, that they can take something that you did as a joke and bring it to life, and it becomes, you know, sort of iconic. Like that's a crazy experience.
Is now, like, working on a project like that, is that something that helped inspire you to even do something like Central Park? Because I gotta imagine, like, Central Park is kind of like a baby for you, right? Like this is your idea.
Central Park is a baby for me, and it was sort of the culmination of everything that I do and love. You know, whether it's musical, my love for musical theater coming from Book of Mormon, whether it's, you know, my love for animation coming from Frozen, and, you know, working with people who I love, like the aforementioned performers and Lauren Bashar, who created one of my favorite animated series, Bob's Burgers, and his partner Nora Smith. There's something that is just so, I think, it's such an exciting payoff to everything I've been working towards, that it gives me an opportunity to sink it all into an enterprise like this. And it's a challenge. I mean, doing a musical on a weekly basis with 4 songs is not an easy task. And we have never settled for anything less than perfect when it comes to these songs. And that is a very, very tiny bullseye to hit.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of not the show itself, but just in general with the musical aspect and animation, was Phineas and Ferb, which you were on. It's a weird throwback, but like they were doing musicals.
Yeah, I love Phineas.
You just threw out Phineas and Ferb. I didn't know what you were gonna say.
Is that a crazy thing to say? It's Phineas and Ferb.
It's not at all
putting on musicals.
No, it's absolutely not at all. I didn't expect that to come out of your mouth.
I was. I did a few episodes for them, and it was a show my kids loved. So it was such a thrill to be able to do that. And yeah, they definitely dabbled in music. And I think, in the case of Central Park, what's so distinctly unique is that we're really tackling different genres and subgenres of music. Season 3, we have a K-pop song, like we have country music. We keep sort of pushing the envelope on what's possible sonically, and it's really exciting because I'm just such a big fan of musicals in general and music. And when you see something like, the Encanto soundtrack exploding and breaking through the zeitgeist, it shows what the potential and the power of these kinds of songs can be. And I think that that's always been our goal, is to achieve that on the small screen.
Yeah, definitely. Like you see these songs on the top of the Billboard charts. It's crazy, but they deserve it because they're so catchy, good. They're awesome, they're great. And the musical world, and I'm obsessed with musicals. I love them. Beauty and the Beast, the live action Beauty and the Beast, I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with Emma Watson. I'm a Harry Potter nerd, so I love everything that Emma Watson does.
I got really emotional watching that Harry Potter reunion on HBO Max.
You don't know. I cried like a baby.
I cried like a baby too. My wife and I were watching that, and we were just truly I don't know why I got so emotional. It really hit me.
Yeah, no,
it hit me in the feels. It was really cool.
It wasn't even like a crying while watching. For me, I started to tear up towards the end, and then like fully cry when it was over, being like just taking it all in of like how important Harry Potter was to me, like just sculpting me as a human being from them talking about it. And I was like, I like, my boyfriend hugged me and he was like, I'm a little, are you okay? Like you're like really, this really affected you. I was like, I'm embarrassed a little bit, but.
So I actually hadn't watched any of the Harry Potter films until recently. We started a spin-off of our podcast called Chicks in Hogwarts, where I'm now watching all the films for the first time and like taking notes on every single movie. And she's just like,
we got 3 movies left.
We got 3 movies left. Every time we go in to record this, like she claps at the end of it. I'm like, I've never seen you this excited about anything we do.
I love it. But
they're so good. And by the way, as good as the movies are, the books are just even better. Like I was in my senior year of high school, and my ex-girlfriend, my then girlfriend, was like, you have to read these books. And I'm like, I'm not reading a book about a boy who goes to magic school. This is insane. And she's like, trust me, you're going to love this. And I was like, fine. And I'll never forget, we were at the pool, and I was reading her copy of Sorcerer's Stone, and I finished it in a day. I was so like, I've never had an experience like that where I was just so immersed in a world and taken to a place, and my imagination was just running wild. And I ran out and I got Chamber of Secrets and Azkaban, and was like, wait, there's no more. Because at the time that was the first 3, and was like one of the first in line as a college kid.
Yeah, I have your ex-girlfriend to thank.
Yeah, I was making my mom take me to the bookstore at midnight. I've got the box set of the books on my desk.
She drunk ordered them one day.
Yeah, anyway, we don't have to keep talking about Harry Potter, but because I did want to ask about Beauty and the Beast, because as far as we knew, we were supposed to be seeing a prequel with you, Luke Evans, and now it seems like that is something, I saw that you posted on Twitter about it last week, that it is not at this moment not happening. And I just want to say I'm very sad about that.
I'm sad too.
It's nobody's more sad than
I was going to say, not to make you feel worse.
And our incredible cast, you know, Rita Ora, who just signed on, Brianna Middleton, who was going to be brilliant, Rafi. You know, the truth is that we were approaching a start date that was criminally close, and we just, from a production standpoint, we just weren't ready. Yeah. There's so much production right now because of COVID that has sideswiped us, right? And we sort of had this one window and our schedules got crazy. And I still think it will happen, if that gives you any sort of solace. Like, I really firmly believe that the show is going to happen. It's sort of like what happened with Obi-Wan on Disney Plus, where it was supposed to go into production 2 years ago, and then they halted production and said, we need more time. And I think that that's a healthy thing. I think that sometimes when you rush into something as big as Beauty and the Beast was going to be, it's tough. It could be problematic. And again, like we were talking about in animation, you don't get a second chance at that. So bear with us. Luke and I still couldn't be more excited, and I think that eventually you'll see it and it'll be better than ever.
Great. Well, I have no reason to be like, I have faith it's happening, but I do. I think it's going to happen just from what you said right there.
And Beauty and the Beast is such a juggernaut.
Like we did a Muppets thing that I think is one of the frickin' funniest things I've ever worked on. It was going to be a sequel to Muppets Take Manhattan. All new music by the Lopez's, who wrote Frozen and Book of Mormon, Frozen 2, and Agatha All Along, and Coco, and it just was so good. That's never going to see the light of day, ever. and that's a real bummer. Like, that breaks my heart in so many ways, because it would have been so good. But this, it's sort of a different set of circumstances.
Yeah. Well, I saw that you had a YouTube channel going for a little bit that you haven't posted on in some time. Do you think you're going to get back to posting on there? And do you think that because I know there's like a lot of things you got to sign, a lot of contracts, a lot of rights. Do you think that anything you work on that doesn't see the light of day on like streaming services or anywhere else can be put on there?
It's a good question. I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, I guess I could do a reading of it on YouTube. The YouTube channel was solely built to support the Reunited Apart series I did during the pandemic, where I reunited cast from my favorite movies, from Goonies to Ghostbusters to Back to the Future to Lord of the Rings, and Ferris Bueller and beyond. And basically, after we sort of got back to normal, it didn't feel like there was a need for that enterprise anymore. As much as I love doing it, it was so much work, and it felt like a good time to just put it on pause. But that's a great idea. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Something to think about.
The last thing we want to ask you about quickly is, I know good idea. The last thing I want to ask before we wrap up quickly, because we have to, is, you know, we're massive Curb Your Enthusiasm fans, and your episode this past season was so funny.
So funny.
What was it like working on that show and you know, playing that character and interacting with Larry David like that?
I feel like it's just a dream to get on that show.
Larry's the greatest. He had asked me to do the show before, and for a number of reasons, I couldn't do it at the time, and I was so bummed. And then I got a call from him in the midst of the pandemic going, Josh, I got this idea for you. I want you to come on and do the show. And I said, you know, Larry, I'm a little concerned because, like, you know, I didn't qualify for the vaccine yet. I was like a monk living in my house. I didn't leave. And he goes, Josh, the median age on my show is 75. You're going to be fine. And so, like, going and getting to do Curb Your Enthusiasm with one of the greatest comedic minds of all time was such a thrill. But what made the character so enjoyable to me is usually the guest stars on Curb Your Enthusiasm are foils to Larry. And it's rare that you see a character who actually embraces what Larry has to say. And in this case, my character not only embraced it, but like completely took it on. And I just thought that was so comedically rich and hilarious and felt really unique and distinct from sort of the other celebrity guest opportunities on the show. So I loved it. I think he's a genius, and it was a dream come true to get to play in that world.
Yeah, we really loved it. It was a great character. It was very, very funny.
And a great season overall.
Yeah, it was a great season. It was a great season, that show.
One of those like perfect seasons of Curb.
Yeah.
Which is like nirvana.
Yeah. It is. It's just the perfect comfort. But Josh, thank you so much for coming on and joining us. Wolf Like Me is streaming on Peacock. You can tune into that and Central Park Season 2, or a continuation of Season 2 on Apple TV, is back March 4th. So make sure you got your Peacock locked and loaded, your Apple TV locked and loaded. There's a ton of great content from Josh to tune into. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Pleasure to be on.
Awesome.
Great.
Thanks, Josh. It was so nice to meet you.
So good to meet you guys. Great interview. Thank you for the great questions. And excited now to listen to Chicks in Hogwarts.
Yeah, check it out. You'll have some laughs, because I'm watching with two people who have never watched the movies before.
And the thoughts are just flying.
Did you guys see Cursed Child?
Yes.
Oh my God, that thing was so dope.
So good.
That was such a cool experience.
I know. I went a few years back on, I did like the 2 separate nights, and it was just like the freaking coolest thing.
Oh, don't you have to, isn't it like a 2-parter?
It's and that was the first time I made my boyfriend watch all the movies. He bought me the tickets for my birthday, and I was like, "Are you my plus one?" And he was like, "Yeah, I bought the tickets." I was like, "Then you have to at least watch all the movies, or else I'm not taking you."
It's pretty incredible. And I think what they did on Broadway is they made it one thing. They like combined both shows,
they've combined it now. I think it's harder to do, obviously, with all everything with the pandemic and Broadway closing and stuff. So now I think it's just one like really long night.
We might have to do just a bunch of Harry Potter things when we end that. Universal.
Yeah. Harry Potter.
Oh my God. And if you're going to do Universal, go to Orlando.
Yeah.
Obviously.
It's so cool. There's so many cool rides there that are Harry Potter themed.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. I went before I ever watched any of the movies, obviously, but then also before the newer rides were made too. So we definitely got to go again.
Yeah, you haven't. I think you've only been to Hogsmeade, not to the Diagon Alley. Yeah. So there's some cool stuff.
And there's a new Hagrid's coaster that is just sick. It's incredible.
Awesome. Well, we'll have to plan a trip. Maybe we go next week.
Yeah. Oh, true. We're
gonna be in West Palm. Maybe we can take a drive.
Thanks, Josh.
Oh, have fun in my home state. Bye, guys.
We will.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Bye.
All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts. We will be back on Monday with a new episode. We hope you have a great weekend. We love you guys. Talk to you next week.